which for me actually is quite a mixed term at the moment and quite a confusing area because there's so much language. GCCs, yeah. So bring it to life for us.
Thank you. So thank you so much for pumping so much energy into the room. I'm going to surf off of it. Off. There I go with my American, right? Yes. So I wear two hats. I work for a company. I'm a co-founder of this company called Eoka. And for the last 20 odd years, I've also been with Neo Group, which is a sourcing advisory firm. So Eoka was founded last year by Atul Vashisht and myself. It's a portmanteau word made from two words from the Maori language, which is the Aboriginal language of New Zealand, Eo and Ka. It means global and capabilities. The first two words in Global Capability Center, right? So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what this is, why it exists. So for those who are not fully aware of what's going on in the what has been traditionally called the captive industry, how many of you know what this word means, captives? We build captives, or we work in a captive, or we've got a captive in Budapest or in Sri Lanka or somewhere. Okay, so quite a few people know that already. So the concept of a captive is not new. It's been around for several years, maybe decades. They were called captives initially, then they were called GICs, Global In-House Center or something like that. Now they've got rechristened as GCCs. You know, industry analysts need to keep themselves busy and keep everybody guessing what the next acronym is going to be. So we have GCCs now. Somebody's proposed that they should be called GVCs, Global Value Creation, whatever. So that will continue to go on. But anyway, so what we did, Atul is also the founder and chairman of Neo Group, and I've been working with him, and the two of us actually had heated debates for a while till November of 2022. Everybody's referencing that particular month and year, and everybody knows why, right? So ChatGPT just burst onto the scene and changed everybody's lives. So after that, Atul said, you know, it's going to be possible to create a vast data lake of everybody in the captive industry, all the locations, all the data, all the this, all of that, whatever. And I said, like, Atul, this is like borderline science fiction. It's like, you know, going to be like one of those Terminator movies. I don't know when it'll ever happen. But from November 2022 to 23 to 24, 25, it started becoming more and more real. So we've built this product. It's a software product. It's service as software, which means everything that we've been doing in sourcing advisory, all that knowledge, all that wisdom, all that expertise has been baked into using AI, has been baked into this product. So I will just, it's a product suite. It has three products in it. It has Explorer, Builder, and Optimizer, which basically follows the cradle to grave life cycle of a captive. You explore. Should we, shouldn't we? Should we build a captive? Should we not build a captive? If so, where should we build it? What is it going to look like? How long is it going to take us? All those questions. That's the Explorer piece. And I'm going to talk to you today about the Explorer because the subject here is about risk mitigation for building global captive centers. So why does location matter? If you get the location wrong, it's quite likely that your captive is not going to be very successful. It may not even fail. So I don't know which is better, total failure, abysmal failure, or very mediocre operations. You can't even shut it down. You can't, it's kind of neither here nor there. So it's important to get location right for all of these reasons. It's a location. Once you choose a location, you invest in a location, you start building there, or you enter into some kind of a joint venture or an agreement with a service provider to build a center there. you've already invested, you've locked yourself in for at least the medium to long term in terms of infrastructure, talent, etc. So each location presents a different set of variables, and we've got a lot of data we've collected from the market, some of it proprietary, some of it public domain, which is all embedded in the product. So the way to de-risk these choices, so what kind of risks do you typically face when you have to make a location choice? Concentration risk. So suppose, for example, you have a company, Acme Incorporated, that makes widgets, and you want to, you send your business processes like financial accounting, HR, procurement, legal, BPO, right? So somebody said that word is dead, but it's not really dead. I remember that. So BPO or ITO, IT outsourcing, the applications development, maintenance, and support, infrastructure, IT infrastructure management, all of these services. Acme Inc. wants to send it to a remote location, which could be in Asia, which could be in Eastern Europe, which could be in Latin America. Typically, these are traditionally what have been called the low-cost destinations. And people say it's not about wage arbitrage. It pretty much is about wage arbitrage. You would not be going there if labor were, labor costs were the same as what they are in the Western Hemisphere. Why would you, right? So that is a driver. But today, people go. And the slogan that I coined for Deloitte US, where I worked, I set up the Mumbai Center for Deloitte US 20 years ago, and I coined a slogan that says, "Come for cost, stay for value." So that's the trend these days, which is labor arbitrage is the main driver, one of the main drivers at least. But the stickiness of staying with that location is basically the value that it brings. So if you have a portfolio of BPO and ITO, should you put everything in one location? Should you spread it out? Go best of breed? Go take your IT where IT is done best. Take your business processes where business processes are done best. You may have a call, send your call center to Manila. You may do your IT in Hyderabad, or you may do your financial accounting in Krakow. So that's one approach, but that spreads you don't get economies of scale, and that spreads your operations too thin. On the other hand, if you put everything in Bangalore, you are facing concentration risk. So these are the choices that what our product does is it basically builds scenarios. So using AI, we do the analytics, we pull in a lot of data, we recognize patterns, some trends, and we do scenario modeling. This is what your cost, your talent access, your risk, time zone difference, et cetera, et cetera. There's a long list of parameters that typically enterprises use to determine what their priorities are and accordingly what the right choice should be. So the product creates scenarios of different kinds, different risk reward patterns, different cost benefit, etc. And it helps you prepare a business case that you can take to the board and say, this is what we want to do, go, no go. All this is good, and this is a pretty standard process. We didn't invent this. This is what consultants have been doing for many years now. We have done this as consultants in Neo Group, but now in AOCA, this product lets you do in a few days. It can, this can now happen in, I'm sorry, a decision that took weeks can now, be made within a couple of days, given the kind of data and the AI overlaid on top of it. So that is a big advantage. It handles complexity that you could not handle before. So human advisory, this doesn't really replace that because we are a team of human advisors as well, but we wrap the advisory around the product. That's pretty much what it does. There's a preview of what it looks like. There are some screens here that are probably not visible, but this is from the actual product usage. And if anybody's interested, we can have a demo for you and show you how it actually works. So this is looking under the hood. This is what the technology stack looks like for anybody who's interested in what technologies are used. So we use Microsoft Fabric, sorry, Eagle, Postgres, Redis, React, Next.js, all that kind of stuff that I used to be familiar with many years ago, but I can barely pronounce those words anymore. So how are we doing on time? 5 more minutes?
Right, Bhavesh, need to run on up here now, so it's not moving.